Thank you everyone for joining. Let's start today's session. So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna help you guys understand how to use the Google Antigravity. Just wonder how many of you have used the AI coding or any tools like a Cursor, Cloud Code, or Antigravity before. If you have used that before, please type 1. If you not, you can type 2. Let's see how many people has already started. I can see most of people has used AI coding, either agent or IDE before. That's great. So I don't need to introduce those again, but just want to let you know that Google has published this anti-gravity IDE a couple weeks back, along with the Gemini 3.0 Pro. That's kind of like the most advanced SOTA model right now. And also they have published Nano Banana Pro. I think many of you has played with it, generate images and do a lot of creative things. So Google Antigravity is kind of a bit different compared to the Cursor and the Cloud Code. What I figured out is it can help you to manage the whole crew of the AI agent. Because previously, if you're using the Cloud Code or Cursor, most of the time you just work with one coding agent, trying to figure out how to design your app, your product, debugging, testing, feed it with the debugging logs or feedbacks. But the Antigravity, I found it's more autonomous for the coding. That's why I wanted to utilize this session to help you guys learn how to use it and how to apply that IDE into your own work at this point. So a couple of logistics wanted to let you guys know. This is actually a third session I hosted on the Maven. So the first one is the build your first AI apps in 30 minutes with AI coding. If any of you haven't joined that, feel free to use a link that I'm gonna send out after the meeting. Then basically you'll be able to watch the video recording from there. Under the second session, we have down is the AI coding 0 to working using Cursor and Cloud Jumpstart. If you're still interested in using Cursor and Cloud, you say I'm probably gonna start with one coding agent. Then I think this is also a good tutorial video you can watch. Last thing I want to mention is I'm also have started my first cohort course in Gen. So I only have like slot available. I think that a lot of people feel very passionate about learning this, so it's filled up very quickly. So right now it's only have 2 spots left for Gen. If you plan to join, you want to more deep dive the AI coding and also apply those techniques, tools, or my experience from the 15 weeks, given all 15 products. So feel free to join this one. It's only 2 spots left. Just want to let you guys know. Without any further ado, I want to show you guys what I have been building with the anti-gravity from the last 2 weeks, just to show you the end results you can achieve so far. I have multiple products running on this website, ai-nate.com. I think many of you probably already visit this one. So if you go down, you're going to see my full 15 weeks experience building one AI product per week, right? Including some of the hardware, because I also have hardware background as well. So if you're interested, feel free to browse my personal website and deep dive each of the products. All of those products are generated by AI coding and me. I also have my personal architecture prompts associated with it, so which I'm going to share with in my cohort classes. But just want to show you guys, last week I have been working on the Create AI. This is basically an app I developed to manage my social media, because I fully focusing on developing all the products. I think many of you probably already find a bit hard to both do go to market, sell your product, and also developed in the same time. So I'm just figure out saying if I can automate some of the workflow for the whole product life cycle, then basically that can help me gain more time to polish my product rather than spend time on go-to-market, because I think that one can also be automatic. So this agent I developed called Create AI, it basically can help you to publish or monitor your X account, right? So for example, if I wanted to build up the audience, the followers on my X account, right? I can utilize the agent help from there. So there's 2 ways to use it. First way is basically you can write your ideas, things that are interesting, or even copy paste from some other the existing articles you have written before. You can just copy paste into this one, and then it can automatically help you generate X or Twitter friendly post from there. So I'm putting a lot of like database behind that agent understand how to write a viral X post from there. And it also can help you generate a nano banana image from there. So just give you example, teaching Maven lightning lesson on how to use anti-gravity, right? You can just write simple words from there. But if you want to put more secret sauce, like your own personal sauce from there, feel free to do so. And then you can also upload your own image, and you can choose whether you want to generate like a long character limit post or short one. So let's do a long one here, and just click generate. And you're gonna automatically follow those rules, how to write a viral X post. Then you will see it will generate text and image here. And also, why it's generating another thing I've been building from last week with the anti-gravity is this one called Build AI. I think I'm gonna also including this tool into my next cohort classes, but won't let you guys know it's more automated, like a coding agent. So this why is for those people who have no coding background. I want to try to build up my own production ready app. How can I do that, right? So mainly this why is you can create a new project. Just mention your app name, what kind of type it is, description, what kind of feature you want to do, some technical requirement. If you understand, if you don't want to put technical requirement, that's fine. You can let AI decide it. And then design style, color preference, then can automatically generate the production ready code. It can deploy on your local server or domain. So this is I will just utilize this tool as kind of like a tutorial in my cohort showing people like just experience how powerful the AI coding can be. Later on, I'm also going to teach saying if I want to customize the features, how we're going to do that. Just show you guys basically once it help you finish the design, can let you know what kind of endpoint you need, what kind of database design, what kind of the landing page you do need, and then you just keep clicking, and you're gonna automatically generate the front end code, and then you can just deploy those in any servers you're gonna host for your website. And this mainly the two things I have been developing for last week. And this one just show you the end result, right? It can help you generate the X post friendly content and also put an image generated by the Nano Banana Pro, and it's gonna be a very infographic one. And you can just click publish. Right, and then you also can schedule if you mind the time as well. Then we can go to your X, and you're gonna see this one published. Right. So this is how I utilize my own AI agent to manage my social media, doing the go-to-market from there. And some of the cool feature I also developed is also kind of like how can I utilize my AI agent to find the trending post and then put some reply over there based on my memory. I think one way people gain the Twitter followers, if you have studied that, is basically you needed to reply under some trading post and then gain the traction back to your own account. But I also want to mention like the human creativity. I'm not saying you should let the AI all manage all the content without doing anything. I think you still need to generate authentic ideas on your own X post. So basically you need to balance between how you're using the AI agent and what kind of authentic content you generate on your post, because eventually people are going to come to your page, and if you see all the bots generate content, they might just leave, right? So that's kind of like one of the lessons I learned. Anyway, so just show you guys, this is what you can do with anti-gravity, with AI coding. You can do this within 1 week. Actually, for those apps, some of them I only did within 3 to 4 days because I already polished and have a very mature architecture for design those, either the web app, mobile app, and also a set of the prompts to do so. So if you're interested, please join my next cohort courses. I'm gonna share all those things in there as well. So by showing you guys this, we're gonna start with the anti-gravity. I don't know if any of you have installed that yet, but if you don't install, that's fine. You can just sit back and relax and just watch me doing this. And I also recommend if you guys want to take some notes, feel free to do so. I'm still thinking taking notes by hands is very important for the learning processes. There's a study showing people taking notes by hands can learn more or understand more of the contents they are learning. So I also recommend you guys doing that. So without further ado, I will just show my anti-gravity screen here. So you can install this, just Google search Google Antigravity, and you can just download it. It has a Mac version, Windows version, and then you can install the corresponding one on your laptop. So once you open it, you would need to log in with a Google account. I think they just have the new policy. If you're not a paid user for the Gemini 3, then you get limited token every 5 hours. If you're kind of like a pro user or even a higher grade plan, basically you can get higher limit from that. But I started with the free one. I think for some of the hobby projects, it is enough for you to build up your AI agent or AI app. But if you wanted to deep dive or do more works, for example, you say, oh, I want to build up a multiple AI agent at the same time, I would recommend you just buy a pro account from that. So once you get into the Antigravity, there's a couple of windows I wanted to show you guys here. So just help you understand the mechanism behind that. So the design of the Antigravity, basically, it has two main UI you need to understand. The first one, if you open any of the products here, this is called the edit mode. So edit mode is kind of like any of the IDE. If you're using VS Code before, if you're using Cursor before, you must be very familiar with this one. The left side is just showing your code base. If you open any of the code base, then you can see those rules, this code in this window. And on the right side is your agent, like a chat window. You can type in your prompt, ask agent to do all kinds of like development work for you. And inside of the agent bot, you can do planning and faster. I usually use planning. I don't change it to faster because if you guys cares about the speed, right? Without more thinking of the high quality code, or even you are doing a very simple task, you can use it fast. But most of the time, I just use planning. I don't bother change it. And then in this model session, you can choose a couple of different models here. Usually, the two models I use is Gemini 3 Pro. High means it has a higher syncing mode, basically sync a lot. It can help you generate the high quality code from there. Low means you can get a faster speed, right? But it's maybe syncing less. And then the other model I'm using, and I think it just recently added this model, is Claude Opus 4.5. So Gemini 3 Pro probably gonna be in general one of the best sort of like LLM models right now. But if you're talking about a specific region, like coding, if you say what is the best model for coding, I just have no brain to say that it's Claude Ops 4.5, right? So basically, Google has a very good strategy. It doesn't just utilize their own Gemini 3 Pro model in the Antigravity. If I think some of the hot tech companies thinking, oh, I want to use my own model, right, without using the competitor's model. But the good move that Google did is also included the best coding model into it. I think Cloud Sonnet 4.5 just published less than a week after Gemini 3 Pro, because Gemini 3 Pro saying this is a super good model, everyone should use it, and they have published the Antigravity. I think Cloud wanted to show saying we still have the best coding model. But Google strategies, instead of only using Gemini, also included the Cloud Opus 4.5 there. So I just also want to share one tips to how to utilize the different models, right? So initially when I was trying to design the overall architecture. If you want to start with the architecture design, how should I design my backend large language model? I would recommend to use the Cloud Opus 4.5. Just think about this model as a very senior architecture of the whole like a software engineer or app developer. So he says the go-to person if you find something hard to resolve, or if you wanted to have some very high quality design thing to discuss using this model. But once you finish all the design, you can switch to the Gemini Pro High, because Gemini Pro High has also have a lot of poster training to utilize the Google internal tools. And also it is one of the best model who can use the browser usage. One of the benefits to utilize Gemini 3 Pro compared to other models is, for example, if you're using the Cursor or Cloud Code before, if you generate some front-end code, right? So you have to deploy it locally, right, with a local host, and then basically you have to open that website and browser through your Chrome or any of the browser you are using, and then figure out what is the improvement you want to do. Maybe this font is doesn't looks good, or maybe the layout is not good. Basically, you do a screen catch and send it to the Cloud Code or Cursor to fix it. But what the Gemini 3 Pro can do is once you said I want to develop this front-end website, but specifically for the website, then it can automatically execute the Chrome and then basically load your front-end code there and do the testing for you. So you don't have to manually do the front-end testing anymore. With the Antigravity, with the Gemini 3 Pro, the whole agent or AI coding agent can do it for you. So mainly, it's gonna save me a lot of time, right? Because previously I have to deploy the front-end code, test it by myself, send the error log back to the AI agent or Cursor or Cloud Code, and then let it debugging with some of the thoughts, with some of the instruction over there. But right now, the Gemini 3 Pro with the Antigravity can do it automatically for yourself, right? So this I can think it's a huge improvement. And I wish Google can also do the backend deployment and then do the debugging over there. So if they can do it, the whole app or the whole product development cycle can be fully automated. You basically just can sitting there, talk with it, and then can deliver or deploy a production ready app over there, right? Because I know maybe one clarification is many of you might use as a no-code tool, right? Like the lovable like a N8N, all those things. It can still deploy on their backend, but you don't own that backend, right? But if you wanted to do more customizations or you want an agent to do it, you lost the capability to do so, right? So it's not like a fully production ready. Fully production ready is what I mean is you can generate a fully independent app and deploy it either on the web or on the iOS, like Apple Store or any of the Android store, right? So that's kind of like the fully production ready app that you fully own from there. But if you're using any of the no-code apps from there, you lost the capability from there. So that's why I wanted people to learn how to utilize those IDE or AI agents, so give you the full power to do any of the development for yourself. It has the editor mode from there, right? So talk with it, you can generate the plan, put the comments over there, something you like, something you don't like, and then start ask it to execute from that. And it's going to automatically generate those. And also for the front end, it can utilize the browser tool, the Chrome, then test it for you. So a lot of time you can just leave, do something else, spend some family time, and then come back maybe 30 minutes or 20 minutes, and you will see that feature you want to develop for the front end. I think you can do this. Backend, you still need to test by yourself because it cannot fully develop those things for you, right? So which I'm going to teach how to do that in my cohort classes. But anyway, the second part of the Antigravity I wanted to show you guys is this one here on the top right side. Open the agent manager. Just click that one. It's gonna jump to a brand new screen over there, right? And then you still would be able to view each of the tasks you worked with your individual agent, right? I can switch between. You see, I have product AI, I have 3 tasks here, right? Each of them, you still can go in, understand the details, type in your feedback from there, but you won't be able to see much of the details of the code change from there. I think the editor view would be able to help you easily see that because you can put in parallel screen over there. I think there's a way you can do it, but I feel this one is just designed to show you the progress of each agent and ask you to provide feedback. And once you read that, you think, oh, I need to deep dive. You still can go back to the editor to deep dive with each individual agent. But this is going to show you a broader view of how many tasks, multiple tasks, one you are running with a different agent, right? So, and also you can add in the different workspace, right? If you see, I wanted to, because I have 15 products right now, right? I have to do a lot of iterations, improvements, debugging based on user feedback. So if I'm running 15 products, this is definitely the tool you need to use, or I need to use from there. So because you can add in the different workspace, product AI, social media AI. I'm also working on this agent OS, trying to consolidate all the tools just in one app so everyone can utilize it as a personal agent from there, can do all kinds of things for you. But this is kind of my new project. But anyway, so those things you can do. Each of the workspace can have multiple tasks. You can switch between them to see the progress, provide feedback, from there. And then another thing which you also can do is, like I mentioned, once you start the new conversation over there, you can just keep adding those agents. But just remember, it's still gonna consume the same pool of the token consumption, right? So you can start to experiment with it, right? So starting with the editor view, working with one agent with a free plan and see how far you can go. Once you reach certain barrier, you're familiar with the whole agentic flow, you're thinking, I can manage multiple agents, then you're gonna start to utilize the agent view and adding more tasks, right? Like I mentioned, you can do front end first, then back end, and also the large language model, like an agentic framework. For each of the workspace, you at least can run 3 like task over there and see how far you can go, right? Oh, one trick I want to show you guys is different models are sharing the different like token pools. For example, if you reach token limit for the Gemini 3 Pro, you still be able to switch to the Claude Opus 4.5 to continue running the task for you. Right, so they're using the different pool. So I just figured, oh wow, Google is so generous about the token. I think they want to get new users. So utilize those period of time, experience it because they're so generous about the token limit from there. But if you see, most of the time, if I utilize both one, each of them have 5 hours iteration. If you have paid user, probably going to be like 3 to 4 hours. I don't remember exactly number. But for my user cases, if I swap between the different models, I have a very heavy workflow over there. I think it can sustain my use. So definitely, when you start the free plan, remember to switch between the models. You can get more token limit from there. And then basically, this is how you manage the different agent from there, right? And also you can click this one, the review the changes, right? If you want to have a quick view of those changes, you don't want deep dive in each of the files it generates from there, it can help you to see it, right? So left side is the prompts instructions you can put in, right? And then right side you can see all the code changes from there. It basically summarizes very nicely over there. And also I recommend you guys to connect with your GitHub, right? Because if you wanted to do some version control, if you're not familiar with GitHub, that's also fine. Later on, I also can help you guys to set up this in my cohort courses. But anyway, so this is basically how you can utilize this agentic thing. So usually what I do, I just want to show you guys my normal workflow here. So basically what I did, like first thing in the morning is basically I think about what kind of workspace, right? What kind of project I need to do. Maybe I got some feedback from the user about the product AI, that's Build AI. Different name, I changed it a bit. So Build AI, then basically I go to the Build AI workspace, then maybe screen catch some of the user feedback, maybe something when I was using it, I found it has some bugs inside of it. I just screen catch some of it, starting a workflow, put it there, and ask it to help me debug, generate a plan. And then next thing I do, maybe I want to improve some of the backend reliability, right? Sometimes the back can be down and maybe multiple users are use it and then I don't have enough like threads or workers to do it. I say maybe I found this problem, I have more users coming, but my backend is not be able to serve all those users, can help me to extend the architecture, the design and make it more efficient. And that's kind of like how I start the second task over there. And then if something I need to improve is large language model, because in my mind, I always keeping my works into 3 different areas: front end, back end, large language model, right? Front end is basically the GUI users see, right? So like UI, UX design. Back end is basically all the APIs your front end need to use to execute certain action. For example, I need to talk with certain large language model, and then you execute a certain API, you need a user registration, all those API are on the backend side. And then the large language model is more related to the agentic flow, right? So I put it independently because that requires a lot of prompt workflow tuning. Basically in my cohort courses, I'm gonna teach you guys how to use I thought the best framework is LangChain and LangGraph. I think I don't know if many of you heard that, but it's kind of like a agentic workflow have been utilized for years. I started the LangChain from point zero when they just started the work back in early 2023. I have also contributed to some of the open source code over there. But overall, I think that's the good one for everyone to use. So in my cohort courses, I'm gonna specifically teach everyone how to use that. Basically, you can have the capability to automatically manage your agentic workflow and do a lot of more capability other other than using the non-code apps from there. But anyway, so that's something we can talk about in my cohort courses. And then the next thing is also have other agent I need to manage, right? Because most of the time when you guys started with one app and then you're going to do the second one, do the third one, some of my cohort students already told me they have planned to do 3 AI agents all at the same time, right? So I think this is Antigravity can help you a lot. And basically you open up the second of the workspace, for example, my Agentic OS one, right? So, and then start to work with that agent, different design, or maybe do some screen catch with it, and then show it what you wanted to do, right? And you see, sometimes I just cracked it, right? I think this box set wrap around is not right, right? So help me to improve that. Obviously, you can say you're absolutely right. So you have to give the right instruction to it, and your taste, right? So this shows the taste of yourself, right? How you want to direct each of the agent to do certain things. So that's differentiation between peoples. Even you got the same tool, different people might generate or create different apps or products from there, right? So that's you need to start to build up those tests. Once you start to work with the agent, you're going to understand it more. And then once you get familiar with it, you know, okay, which direction should go or which direction makes sense. I think this experience gained by practice, by working with it. So I want you guys, once you finish this session, just go install the Antigravity, start play with it. Just any idea on top of your mind at that moment, anything you want to build for your life, for your family, for your company, for your startup idea, your own products, inside project, just think about one. Without think too much, then start to build it, right? Just talk with this AI agent, agentic workflow, the editors first, probably using the editor first, and then ask it to design the overall infrastructure, overall design for you, and put out your feedback and start to run it. And then later on, you're going to see it can show you some of the result, at least the front end result it can show you. And then once you are getting that area, then you can figure out how I do the backend design, how I do the large language model design. So this is basically my own personal experience, how I started to use each of the AI tools, how I build up all those products, 15 products for the last 15 weeks. I hope you learned one thing or two, for the anti-gravity, like I mentioned, start to use it. The best thing or the first step you should do is just take action, right? So like what I have been experienced from those 15 weeks is I don't think too much, right? I just do it, take action. If some idea pops in my mind, I just work with the AI to generate that app, show it to my friends, show it to my family. If they like it, I make it in public. I also can start to connect with my strap, helping if more and more people using that, I can build up like a subscription plan or credit plan over there, and then can sell it as your own business. The first thing you need to do is just take action. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. If you're interested to join me for a deep dive of your own product, if you have a product idea, you want to do some more for your work, for your startup, you can look at my cohort courses in Jan. Like I mentioned, it's only 2 spots left. It fill up pretty quick. So if you want to utilize that chance to work with me to deep dive all those long chain, agentic workflow, understand the details behind my screen, want me to help review your code, help you to develop the products, just join my cohort from that. And thank you everyone for being here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye.